I will be moving from PPT to CPP portal. So please let me know if there are issues related to the screen sharing. So as as explained by Paresh in the earlier sessions, that these are these are the experience which we have from last 3 years while managing the UCSS packages, limited tender studies, and empanelment of survey institution, as well as the institution establishment of PMU for the institutionalization of output outcome monitoring framework. And we have the same disclaimer for this, that these we have made every effort to ensure the content is accurate, and we do not represent or otherwise warrant it to be error free. So we will cover these 8 points. First is what is e-procurement system is. Second is how to create the tender on the CPP portal. Then publish the tender. Then the flow chart as explained by Paresh in the earlier session. Then the bid opening. Then technical bid opening, technical evaluation, financial bid opening, financial evaluation, and then at the end of the all the technical and financial evaluation, the how we are going to award of contract in the CPP portal. E-procurement system is basically the tendering system through online process. This is a web-based system to create, publish, and receive bids, and open it online, then then declare the result of the technical evaluation, and then assign the contract to the selected bidders. GFR Rule 180 makes it mandatory for Ministry Department to receive all the bids through e-procurement portal in respect of all procurements. The prerequisite for using CPP portal is the computer should have at least 1 GB RAM and internet connectivity. One should have digital signature certificate, Internet Explorer version 7 or Mozilla Firefox 3 or above, internet connectivity with at least 265 kbps connectivity, and Java runtime engine JRE 1.6 or higher. First of all, we need to log into the CPP portal. Then we need to uh, fill the login ID and password, and then click on the proceed. Then we need to once again click on the this login option. This login option will only appear when you have DSC and as well as you are using Internet Explorer or Mozilla Firefox. If you are using any other uh, mm, uh, thing, then you will not able to see this login option. I'm moving on to the CPP portal so that all have the sense to get the sense of the how the CPP portal works. We have to run the Java every time while using the CPP portal. Moving on to the next slide. Uh, First, then we need to go on to the create tender option. Under tender management, create tender is given here. So we need to click on the create tender. Then we need to click on the create new cold tender. Then tender reference ID is the e-file number. Then tender type is either open or limited, which we use in DMU till date. And contract form of contract is lump sum. Number of cover, we have usually two covers. One is technical cover and other one is financial cover. Tender category, services for the work related to evaluation, and number of bid openers. Right now we are using 2 out of 3. These are the ones which have the DSC, and on those DSC are registered with CPP Portal login credential of DMU. I'm creating the dummy ID to log in into this portal for a new tender. Then we have to also fill the details related to the technical and financial proposals. Under financial proposal, nowadays we are asking for the technical proposal in PDF and as well as PDF and as well as in Excel format also. Therefore, we need to create 2 folders for technical proposal. This is in Excel. Similarly, we have to create folders for the financial proposal. One is BOQ. BOQ is always in Excel, and other one is financial proposal, which gives the bifurcation of each and every line items in given in the financial proposal. NIT is the notice inviting tender. So it is basically the cover letter of the RFP, which inform about the uh, opening of the tender and the other details like the PDT, proposal due date, and last date of submitting the proposal. So in tender reference number, we usually use e-file number. Tender type is either open tender or limited tender. Forms of contract is lump sum. Number of cover, we usually use 2 in DMU. Tender category, for evaluation, we use services. Number of bidders, nowadays we are using 2 out of 3 as per the availability of DSC. Then we need to fill the cover details. Cover details is related to the technical proposal and the financial proposal. Then we need to upload the NIT document, notice inviting tenders. Then upload the technical and financial proposals. Then nowadays it is also asking whether this tender is floated on the GeM ID or not, GeM portal or not. So the process we are following here in DMU is we usually take exemption from using the GeM portal. So we just need to say no and mark that these are the urgent. The nature of the project is urgent, therefore we are not floating it on GeM portal. Then we need to send the tender for the publishing. For limited tender, there is a small difference in creating limited tender and open tender. For limited tender, we need to first add the empaneled agency in our organization list. Then let me show you how we can add the empaneled agency in our list. We need to go on the master management, then click on the organization hierarchy masters, then click on the edit option. Here the option 6 is enlisted bidders. We need to click on this. In these are the forms which are listed in the, which are registered in the CPP portal in the name of Deloitte. So let me add, just show you how we can add these forms. Just go to the add option, then go to the services and click on this. Then go to the option number serial number 11 consultancy and select this option, and then we can and save it. If we save it, this form will be added in the empaneled list. If we select a tender type limited tender, then while moving on to the next stage of the tender, we have to select the category of the product. After like the I've selected the categories tender, consultancy, sorry. So these are the forms which are empaneled in DMU. Therefore, while creating the tender, we have to select those forms which has showed the expression of interest for a particular project. So these RFP will be available to these few forms once we are proceeding with the limited tender. Rest of the things are remains the same uh, in the open as well as the limited tender. So the add the interested and selected empaneled institution on for the tenders. As I showed you that the clicking on these boxes will add the specific forms which have shown the interest for any specific uh, project or RFP. Moving on to the next slide. Next, then we have to, after uploading all the details, we have to send the RFP for the publishment. Once sending the RFP for publishment, we have the options to check the details, cross check the details, whether these details are right, or if there are any discrepancy, we can move back the RFP and correct those details. If details are fine, then we can send it for the final publishment. These are details are will be available here. Publish tender. Once we have finalized all the details and send the tender for publish, the same tender will be reflected here. Here we have the options to check the cross check all the details, and once details are uh, fine, then we can send it for final publishment. The final published tender will be reflected here, as you can see in the screen that the two tenders which we have floated recently, the evaluation of National Solar Mission and the promotion of agriculture mechanization can be seen on the screen. The next step is technical bid opening. So we need to go to the bid opening section, then click on the tender to be opened, then the which tender to be opened. Either it can be technical or financial. The first we need to open the technical proposal, then decrypt all the bits and save it in our system, and to share those uh, bits with the technical subcommittee for the uh, technical evaluation and further action. The bid opening section, then tenders to be opened. It will be automatically uh, once the dates are proposal due dates are passed, then the tenders which are to be opened will be reflected automatically in the technical cover to be opened. Next part is technical evaluation. Uh, the same way we can upload the technical evaluation when results. First of all, we need to go to the technical evaluation bid opening section, then click on the technical evaluation. Then we will be asked whether these bids are rejected or accepted. What, then along with the reasons. So we need to fill those details along with the minutes of the technical evaluation committee, and then the final submit. Uh, Moving on to the financial bid opening. First of all, we need to click on the bid opening section, then click on the tenders to be opened under the financial cover, then decrypt all the bits and share the decrypted bits with uh, mm, the subcommittee for further action. Mm, Then again, after the evaluation, we need to publish the results of financial evaluation. First of all, we need to click on the bid evaluation section, then the financial evaluation. We need to accept or reject the tenders based on the specific reasons. We need to fill the details of the minutes of the meeting, the technical evaluation, and then final submit the tender on the CPP portal. So the bid evaluation section is here, and the technical evaluation, first of all, we need to first upload the results of technical evaluation, and then financial evaluation. Then it will automatically reflected in the AOC stage. AOC is award of contract. Here also we first go to the bid evaluation sector, then click on the AOC and empanelment option. Then the details related to the selected tender, like the contract value, and we need to also upload the details of the office memorandum in respect of award of contract. Then final submit the uh, project tender, and then in this way we can close all the details, all the process of the any RFP on in the CPP portal. Now I request, please let me know if there are any queries related to CPP portal.
Deepak, thank you for the presentation. Just one question. This is Aditya.
Yes, Aditya.
So, is it possible for everyone to have access to the CPP portal? So, like, some of us as part of the evaluation team, if we want to check how many people have responded to the RFP and all that, so can we do that, or do we need to do it through the procurement team?
Aditya, we can do it only after the final date of submission is passed, and you just need the login ID and DSC of the concerned persons who are mapped with the CPP portal, CP login credentials of DMU. So anyone can check. Even right now, I'm using the DSC of Achilles sir. If you have this DSC and the login credential, so you can also use it.
Thank you, Deepak.
Now I request Ashish Jivan sir to share his experience of using the GeM portal.
Deepak?
Yes, Ashish. Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. I have made this PPT. I am working on GeM for last 2.5 years, and GeM. I'm starting with what is GeM. So GeM is a full form is Government E-Marketing. One is stop shopping solution for government department. The purchases through GeM by government users have been authorized and made mandatory by Ministry of Finance by adding a new rule number 149 in the GFR 2017. Government e-Marketplace is a one-stop portal to facilitate online procurement of common use goods and services required by various government departments, organizations, PSUs. GeM aims to enhance transparency, efficiency, and speed in public procurement. Some key points of GeM is reach a listing of products for individual categories of goods and services, makes available search, compare, select, and buy facility, enable buying goods and services online as and when required, provides transparency and ease of buying, ensures continuous vendor rating system, up-to-date user-friendly dashboard for buying, monitoring, supplies, and payments, provision of easy return policy also. Steps for procurement of goods. So how we start to procure any item? First, make proposal for procurement of goods. Take necessary administrative and financial approval from competent authority like HOD, DDG, IFD, and in some cases CO also. Consult, take advice of senior accounts officer for budgetary purpose. Third is login to GeM for search and cart the goods. There are several options like select consignees, state delivery location quantity, make in India, MSC, seller registered, address, seller rating, financial, make, model, product specifications. We can buy directly any items up to rupees 25,000. There is 3 category of purchase in GeM. First, up to 25,000 rupees, up to rupees 25,000. We can buy directly any item up to rupees 25,000. But beyond 25,000, we have to compare 3 products of different make, and among them we have to buy L1 product. So go to bid for the product which can't be compared. As for example, MS Office software. We go for bidding process for the goods cost above rupees 5 lakhs. So there are three categories. Up to 25,000, we have to buy directly. We can buy any item up to rupees 25,000, and between 25,000 to 5 lakhs, we have to compare three products and we have to buy L1 from them. If the three different makes are not available in GeM, then we have to go for bidding. And beyond 5 lakhs, it is compulsory to go to bid process. Now, generally DMO has purchased some of the articles, goods from GeM are in products software like MS Office 2019 and Stata. We have already purchased MS Office 2019 in this year, and Stata I think in 2021 we have purchased. Webex conferencing software we are using at present is also we have purchased from GeM. Then SSL certificates, DSL certificates, computers and peripherals, other stationery items, etc. In services, we have already procured drinking water from service section of GeM, and human resource, OA and MTS. We have 4 OA and 4 MTS at present in DMO, and we have already procured them through a outsourcing agency from GeM. Some of the key points of GeM are direct purchase for amount of 25,000, L1 purchase for amounts greater than 25,000 and less than 5 lakhs, price trends and price comparison from multiple suppliers, direct notifications to sellers, integrated payment system. These are some points of GeM which is available. User-friendly dashboard for monitoring supplies and payments, online grievance redressal mechanism for quick resolution, float bid among population of 3 lakh sellers. There are 3 lakh sellers. They are registered their products on GeM. Buyers can now select bid duration between 10 and 21 days. There is a facility of duration of bid. Minimum number of days is 10. And maximum is 21. Delivery period up to 180 days. We have some other facilities available on GeM. Is pin code based seller selection for direct purchase mode.
Ashish,
Okay.
Avinash this side. Can I ask
Yes,
you a
sir.
question? Yeah. So can you go
Yes, sir.
back a couple of slides?
Yes, sir.
One more, yeah. So we go for bidding process for the goods above 5 lakh. So what is the criteria for selection? Like 25,000 to 5 lakh is L1. How do you procure
Yes,
for more than 5 lakh?
We have to go for bidding process, sir. We float bid for them for above 5 lakhs product. We have to go for bidding process. That is a separate process. I will show it in my later
Okay.
section. So pin code based seller selection for direct purchase mode, notification to buyer regarding expiry of delivery period for the contract, initiation of cancellation of contract in case of non-delivery. Buyers during technical evaluation can make MSC seller eligible or ineligible for MSC purchase preference. Actually, I will show in through GeM portal also these things. Now buyers get the option to cancel the product contract even if the invoice has been generated by seller. provided 15 days have expired from delivery period. 15 within 15 days, if we do not get product, then it is the option to cancel our order. Now, some slides I am showing. This is login page of GeM. ये भी दिख रहा है क्या?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. We can see.
Okay. Thank you. This is our login page of GeM. First, here there are several options: dashboard, market, forward actions. Like if we need to purchase or procure anything, just like so as for example, we have to purchase a pen, then we simply search here for pen, and there are several options like Flipkart and Amazon. यहाँ पे काफी सारा ऑप्शंस हम लोगों को दिखता है, और ये लेफ्ट साइड में स्पेसिफिकेशंस के लिए भी कॉलम्स आते हैं. जैसे if we click on select consignee option, then we have state, delivery location and quantity. As for example, we need to purchase 10 pens, then we put just number 10 here and search option. Some problem, I think. If you need to purchase a desktop computer, then there are several options of a desktop computer, and in left side we have several options like administrative, financial, make, model selection and specification. From administrative, we select consignee, then under state option we Delhi, and our name of Sajwan ji is default there, and we have to put just quantity of procurement, how many numbers of computer we have to buy, and click on search button. We have here current L1 selection. ये जो है जेम में ऑटोमेटिक ये चला आता है, और अगर हम लोगों को स्पेसिफिकेशंस अपने देने हैं तो जैसे एचपी का चाहिए तो एचपी में मेक मॉडल में जाके हम लोग एचपी का दे सकते हैं. कितना रैम हम लोगों को 8 GB चाहिए तो रैम ऑप्शन में डाल सकते हैं. SSD 1 TB चाहिए तो वो हम लोग डाल सकते हैं. लाइक जो भी हम लोगों को हम लोगों का स्पेसिफिकेशन है वो हम लोग इसमें दे सकते हैं. देने के बाद अप टू जैसे कि 25,000 और 5 लाख के बीच हम लोग कंपेयर करते हैं 3 प्रोडक्ट्स को. तो 3 प्रोडक्ट्स में एक L1 जो है वो डिफ़ॉल्ट यहाँ पे रहेगा. तो L1 जैसे हम लोग को HP का प्रोडक्ट चाहिए, तो अगर हम लोग यहाँ पे ब्रांड स्पेसिफिकेशन 2-4 स्पेसिफिकेशन जब तक हम लोग सेलेक्ट करेंगे उसके बाद ही ब्रांड और मॉडल जो है वो उसमें रिफ्लेक्ट करता है।
सर ये नीचे कंपेयर क्या आ रहा है इसमें?
हाँ, ये जैसे हम लोग जैसे दूसरे साइट में भी फ्लिपकार्ट अमेजन में जैसे 2-3 प्रोडक्ट को कंपेयर करते हैं, जस्ट उसी तरह का ये कंपेयर का ऑप्शन है। तो हम लोग
नहीं,
जैसे
अगर
कंपेयर
मान लो
करना चाहते
फ्लिपकार्ट पे सस्ता है तो फिर हम वहां से खरीद सकते हैं या
नहीं
नहीं
नहीं,
खरीद?
ये तो जा ही नहीं सकते हैं हम लोग। एक्चुअली गवर्नमेंट जो है कुछ रूल्स से बंधे होते हैं, हम लोग जीएफआर के बियॉन्ड नहीं जा सकते हैं। और जेम जो है ये जीएफआर बेस्ड है। और गवर्नमेंट का जो भी प्रोक्योरमेंट है, पेन से लेके हवाई जहाज तक सारा कुछ जो है गवर्नमेंट अभी बोल रही है कि आपको जेम से ही परचेज करनी है। तो हम लोग अमेजन और फ्लिपकार्ट में तो जा ही नहीं सकते हैं। ओपन मार्केट में हम लोग तभी जा सकते हैं जबकि जेम में अनअवेलेबल होगा आइटम जो हम लोगों को परचेज करना है। और वो भी अभी जो जेम में एक अनअवेलेबिलिटी का ऑप्शन है, तो जेम में हम लोगों को वो शो करना पड़ता है कि जेम से ये सर्टिफिकेट निकलता है जेम अवेलेबिलिटी रिपोर्ट के जरिए कि वो आइटम जो है जेम के अंडर नहीं है। तो वो जब जेम अनअवेलेबिलिटी रिपोर्ट हम लोग शो करेंगे तब हमारे एचओडी को ये पावर है कि आप वो हमें परमिशन दे सकते हैं कि आप ओपन मार्केट से कोटेशन के थ्रू या आप जो है अगर 25,000 के अंदर का प्रोडक्ट है तो आप डायरेक्ट भी परचेज कर सकते हो ओपन मार्केट में। तो अभी हम लोगों को काफ़ी बंदिशें हैं, हम लोगों को रूल के अंदर ही रहना है। और सारा प्रोडक्ट जेम में अभी अगर आपके पास मॉडल नहीं है, जैसे कल ही हम लोग देख रहे थे एक जैसे एप्पल का प्रोडक्ट नहीं है तो आपको दूसरे कंपनी को ले सकते हैं आप। एचपी है, एसर है, या बहुत सारे अभी लोकल प्रोडक्ट जो आ गए हैं वो है, तो उनमें से लेना है। उस अगर कोई भी दूसरा मेक या ब्रांड अवेलेबल है तो वो अनअवेलेबिलिटी रिपोर्ट जेम से नहीं निकलेगा। तो ये काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें हैं जेम में। तो जैसे हम लोगों ने पहले परचेज किए हैं तो वो पहले जो हम लोगों ने परचेज किए हैं वो प्रोडक्ट ऑर्डर के अंडर ऑल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स में हम लोगों को दिखते हैं ये सारे आइटम्स। जैसे कल ही हम लोगों ने डेस्कटॉप लैपटॉप वगैरह का ऑर्डर दिया है तो वो यहाँ पे रिफ्लेक्ट हो रहे हैं। तो हम लोग को हमेशा ये इस बात का ख्याल रखना है कि 25,000 के अंदर तो हम लोग डायरेक्ट कुछ भी ले सकते हैं जेम से, और 25,000 से 5 लाख तक के कंपेयर करके ले सकते हैं। जैसे मैं कंपेयर सीट इसमें दिखा रहा हूँ, अगर मेरे पास अवेलेबल है किसी आइटम्स के। 5 लाख के ऊपर हम लोगों को बीट के प्रोसेस से लेना पड़ता है, टेंडर के द्वारा उसमें लेना पड़ता है। से ये मेरे ख्याल से ये हम लोगों ने ये प्रिंटर परचेज किए थे तो उसके वो प्रिंटर जो है 25,000 के ऊपर आ जा रहा था, तो उसमें हम लोगों ने कंपेयर सीट एक जनरेट किया था। ये हमारा हम लोगों ने प्रिंटर परचेज किया था, उसका जैसे हम लोगों ने कंपेयर किया था 3 आइटम्स को, 3 डिफरेंट मेक्स। जैसे हम लोगों ने कैनन का लिया था तो कैनन के साथ हम लोगों ने कैनन का प्राइस आ रहा था 27,997.78, जबकि दूसरे हम लोगों ने एविजन और कोडक से कंपेयर किया था तो उनका रेट जो था हायर था। तो इसमें ऑटोमेटिकली जेम में जो है L1 शो कर देता है। जैसे यहाँ पे ये कैटेगरी करेंट L1 ये शो कर रहा है कैनन का 27,997.78। तो यहाँ से हम लोग जो है L1 को हम लोगों ने परचेज किया था कंपेयर करके। और अगर 25,000 से 5 लाख तक के बीच के आइटम्स का अगर डिफरेंट मेक अवेलेबल नहीं है, जैसे हम लोगों ने MS ऑफिस परचेज किया था, तो MS ऑफिस, चूंकि MS ऑफिस दूसरा कोई नहीं बनाता है, इसीलिए MS ऑफिस के लिए हम लोगों ने टेंडर किया था। तो टेंडर करने के लिए उसके लिए जैसे बीड के थ्रू हम लोग जाते हैं, ये बीड का ऑप्शन यहाँ पे है। ये बीड में जैसे दीपक ने CPP पोर्टल का दिखाया, जस्ट उसी तरह का इसमें भी प्रोसेस है, थोड़ा सा चेंज हो सकता है, लेकिन मोर और लेस उसी तरह से टेक्निकल इवेल्युएशन, फाइनेंशियल इवेल्युएशन करने के बाद वो हमारी GeM की कमेटी है, जिसमें कि हमारे चेयरमैन है डायरेक्टर श्रीवास्तव सर, हमारे सीनियर अकाउंट्स ऑफिसर हैं मुनीश सर, और हमारे हेड ऑफ ऑफिस है उसमें साजवान जी भी उसमें है। तो ये चारों कमिटी मेंबर जो है टेक्निकल मिनट्स हम लोग निकालते हैं, फिर फाइनेंशियल मिनट्स निकाल के बाद में L1 सेलेक्ट करके उसको हम लोग ऑर्डर प्लेस कर देते हैं। तो ये अभी जैसे हम लोगों ने लैपटॉप के लिए परचेज किया है, तो ऑर्डर दिया है, तो इसका जैसे बिड रिक्वायरमेंट हम लोग जब बिड देते हैं तो बिड में स्पेसिफिकेशन वगैरह फिल करना पड़ता है। जब हम लोग बिड इशू करते हैं, अपलोड करते हैं GeM पे, तो ये सारा जो है बिड डॉक्यूमेंट्स भी इसी तरह का आ जाता है। ये मैं एक
टेक्निकल इवैल्यूएशन में क्या क्या पैरामीटर होते हैं?
टेक्निकल इवैल्यूएशन में बिड डॉक्यूमेंट्स जो हमारे होते हैं, एक मिनट मैं आपको दिखा रहा हूँ। तो उसमें पैरामीटर्स है, जैसे अब अभी हम लोगों ने किया था उस ये जैसे बिड डॉक्यूमेंट्स एक हमारा ओपन हो गया। ये बिड्स जैसे हम लोगों ने 10 जनवरी को किया था, सॉरी 10 जनवरी को बिड एंड टाइम था, और बिड ओपनिंग डेट भी 10 का था। बिड हम लोगों ने क्रिएट किया था 31/12 को, 31 दिसंबर को किया था, 10 दिन का टाइम दिया था। और बिड लाइफ साइकिल 90 डेज का था, बिड ऑफर वैलिडिटी 30 डेज का था। तो इसमें हम लोगों ने मिनिमम एवरेज एनुअल टर्नओवर एक फिक्स किया था 2 लाख का। जैसे टोटल क्वांटिटी हमारा 13 लैपटॉप का था, जो कि IFD ने अप्रूव किया था। तो इसमें OEM टर्नओवर, OEM जो ओरिजिनल जो प्रोडक्ट बनाती है कंपनी, वो OEM होती है। OEM का टर्नओवर 20 लाख हम लोगों ने दिया था। और ईयर ऑफ पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस भी हम लोग उसमें दे देते हैं, 2 साल 3 साल जो भी। तो इसमें हम लोगों ने 2 इयर्स का पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस रखा था। और MSc एग्जेम्पशन, उसमें ऑप्शन रहते हैं, MSc एग्जेम्पशन चाहिए या नहीं, तो हम लोगों ने नो किया था। स्टार्टअप एग्जेम्पशन के लिए भी नो किया था। तो और डॉक्यूमेंट्स रिक्वायर्ड फ्रॉम सेलर, ये एक्सपीरियंस सर्टिफिकेट, पास सर्टिफिकेट, परफॉर्मेंस, बीडर टर्नओवर सर्टिफिकेट, ये सब हम लोगों ने मांगा था। और तो इसके बिड डॉक्यूमेंट्स के बेसिस पे ही हम लोग टेक्निकल इवैल्यूएशन, जो कंपनी डॉक्यूमेंट्स प्रोवाइड करती है अपना टर्नओवर, एक्सपीरियंस वगैरह, उससे हम लोग टेक्निकल इवैल्यूएशन उसी को बेस करके करते हैं। और टेक्निकल में उसे
सर इसमें ये अलग अलग लाइन आइटम का अलग अलग वेटेज भी होता है?
वेटेज जैसे परसेंटेज उस तरह से हम लोग नहीं लेते हैं इसमें GeM में, चूंकि ये बहुत ही इसमें कम प्राइस का ही रहता है, इसीलिए वैसा वेटेज नहीं लेते हैं हम लोग। जस्ट जैसे पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस 2 इयर्स है, तो हम लोग देख लेते हैं कि कंपनी ने जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स दिया है वो 2 इयर्स है या नहीं है। जैसे टर्नओवर है, टर्नओवर जो हम लोगों ने 20 लाख का दिया है, या जो भी है, वो उसका टर्नओवर CA का सर्टिफिकेट वो प्रोड्यूस करते हैं, या ITR प्रोड्यूस करते हैं, अपना बैलेंस शीट देते हैं। तो उसमें उनका टर्नओवर वगैरह है या नहीं, ये हम लोग चेक करते हैं। और जो स्पेसिफिकेशंस हमने मांगे हैं वो उन्होंने दिए हैं कि नहीं, अकॉर्डिंग टू बिड डॉक्यूमेंट्स हम लोग वो चेक करके टेक्निकल इवेलुएट करते हैं उसको। और फिर फाइनेंशियल में के लिए तो कुछ करना नहीं पड़ता, वो जेम जो है ऑटोमेटिक L1 सेलेक्ट कर लेती है। जैसे 5 कंपनी आई तो L1 to L5 वो ऑटोमेटिक जो है वो उसमें आ जाता है, तो उसमें ज़्यादा कुछ करने की ज़रूरत होती नहीं है। जैसे ये लैपटॉप के लिए हम लोगों ने स्पेसिफिकेशंस मांगे थे, जैसे प्रोसेसर हमारा इंटेल का होना चाहिए, प्रोसेसर जनरेशन 11 होना चाहिए, इंटेल i5 मिनिमम i5 हम लोगों ने मांगे थे। ग्राफिक्स टाइप वगैरह कुछ तो जेम अगर कुछ ऑप्शंस हम लोग स्पेसिफिकेशंस तो बहुत सारे होते हैं तो सारे देने संभव नहीं होते हैं, तो हम लोग जैसे मेन 5-6 स्पेसिफिकेशन दे देते हैं, बाकी जो है वो जेम जो है ऑटोमेटिकली वो सेलेक्ट कर लेता है। तो इसी आधार पे हम लोग जो है वो जेम से परचेज करते हैं। अगर किसी की कोई क्वेरी है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं।
सर इसमें कुछ रिवर्स ऑक्शन का भी कुछ होता है शायद, जैसे मैं GFR में।
हाँ, यस, रिवर्स ऑप्शन भी है, लेकिन मैंने वो रिवर्स ऑप्शन कभी यूज़ किए नहीं है। हमारे यहाँ रिवर्स ऑप्शन अभी तक यूज़ नहीं हुआ है, तो मैं ज़्यादा कुछ बता नहीं पाऊंगा इसके बारे में।
Okay, no problem.
If we don't have any more queries for GeM portal or CPP, we can move on to the limited tender study. So, Ashish, if you can stop sharing your screen.
Okay, I'm just stopping.
Okay,
Yes,
so we
Maitri.
have covered the.
It,
Okay, thank you. So we have covered the e-procurement process. Limited tender procurement process is pending. So I'll quickly try to cover that up. So basically, the process followed in the limited tender study is very much similar to what we have learned so far in the case of procurement of open tender procurement. But the only added step here is the shortlisting of institutions. So in case of limited tender studies, limited number of institutions are being shortlisted. They are being pre-qualified for the submission of proposal. Once we have a list of the shortlisted institutions, then we follow the same process, that is the preparation and publication of the RFP and then the submission of the proposal. Post the submission of proposal, we have the responsiveness check for technical proposals received and the financial proposal evaluation. And lastly, we award the contract. So this is the process that is being followed in the case of limited tender procurement. So first of all, we'll focus on the drafting of RFP and shortlisting of the institution. So the first step in the case of limited tender study is that you prepare the title and the scope of study. Now, after the scope of study is being finalized, now we move on to the next step, that is the identification of the institutions or the organizations that are to be approached for the limited tender studies. So these organizations are shortlisted based on some pre-qualification criteria, and these pre-qualification criteria will eventually lead to preparation of a long list of potential consultants or panel of institutions. So the criteria for selection of these institutions could be the past track records of the organizations or the institutions, or the expertise in the respective sector. So earlier also we had this example for where if suppose we are to conduct a study in the state of Maharashtra, then maybe we would want to approach the institutions who have either already worked in the state of Maharashtra or have the resources to conduct the research or the study for in that particular area. So that could be one of the criteria. Then formal or informal inquiries from the Ministry's Department, Chamber of Commerce. So these are some of the criteria. There could be other criteria based on which the list is prepared for the potential consultants or the institutions that are to be approached. And here again, the minimum shortlisting institution remain as 3, and we have to shortlist at least 3 organizations with principal investigators for a particular study. After that, these are approached with a request for proposal which contains the TOR. The next step is the submission of proposals. So these institutions again then have to submit their technical as well as financial proposal. And then we conduct the technical responsiveness qualification. They need to qualify through that. And then we ask in the financial proposal, after that, we have asked for some of the supporting documents. So that could be an undertaking which they have to submit to us. The other supporting documents could be power of attorney or the BKT. So these interested institutions then have to submit both of the financial and technical proposals. And then eventually we move on to the evaluation part of the process and the award of contract. So the TEC then opens and examines the financial bid, and then it may recommend the study to the lowest bid, and that is the responsive technically qualified proposal with the lowest evaluation cost as per the Rule 193 of the GFR 2017. So as we have also experienced in the past, the TEC may nominate a subcommittee, and this subcommittee then assists in the technical bid responsiveness and the financial evaluation of these bids. And after the selection of an institution based on the study by TEC, the file is processed as per the NESD 2021 procedures. So this is the process that is being followed in the case of limited tender studies, which is more or less in line with the open tender study, except for the selection criteria for the institutions that we approach for. So if anyone has any queries on the limited tender studies or on the e-procurement process, I would request you to please unmute yourself and ask.
Anyone having any questions? Please feel free to unmute or raise your hand. Actually, it looks like there are no more questions. Should we get to the conclusion part of this series of knowledge sharing sessions?
Yeah, but there are no questions in the chat box, and so I think we can move on.
Hi, Paresh and Mitri. I have a question.
Yeah, please, Nikita, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was asking for this limited and tender thing. So do we have to only refer to the list of Samavesh partners, or we can publish the EOI in the public domain also?
Good question, Nikita. So yes, you can. Basically, we have to look at a list of institutions which qualify that for that particular study. So it can be based on an empanelment list. So empanelment is basically, you have already done the technical qualification in the past, so you can use the same list. So the point it makes is, as far as you follow a very thorough pre-qualification criterion to shortlist this particular set of institutions, it should be fine. Now we do not typically go for EOI because it's at the end limited tender is meant to save time. So we went ahead with Samavesh institutions list. We went ahead with chair professor units of Niti Aayog. Going forward, we will also have empanelment of survey institutions list. And if we conclude the empanelment of knowledge institutions, we'll also have a very customized, very dedicated, for the purpose that we are looking for. We will have our own list. Once that is ready, I think between this set of institutions, we would have got all the necessary contenders for the study that we're looking for. So it's, I think between all of this, it should be fine. Now, coming back to your question, whether you have to stick to Samavesh list itself, not necessarily. You can also look at, so if you were doing a survey institutions, and you could have actually looked at empanelment of RBI as well. For that matter, if Ministry of Finance already has a set of consulting organizations and paneled with them, we could straight away use that list. So there's nothing binding us, as Maitreyi mentioned. You can use any possible list. You can inquire with the ministry's departments. If they have some suggestions, you can include them in the shortlist. So
Okay,
does that
got
answer
it.
query?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, I was asking this in context of, for example, we will be rolling out our RFP related to Department of Science and Technology, and it is possible that scientific institutions are not there in the Samavesh list. So can we, I mean, list down other institutes which are related
Yes,
to
you can. So if, let's say, you want to follow NIRF ranking, or you want to follow any national credible ranking for the scientific institutions, you can use that as well. So if you want to pick up the top 20 institutions and do a limited tender with them, that's also is permissible. As far as that list is arrived in a fair, transparent, and an accountable manner, it should be fine.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Nikita, for that query. Anyone else? Any questions? Okay, looks like there are no more questions. With that, we reach to the end of this series of knowledge sharing session.